It's the NFL on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Chicago Bears. Next on Madden Football.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Greg Zuerlein now. He'll handle the honors to get us started. And off we go from Soldier Field. Well, now how about this return? And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the MVP of the National Football League in 2018, the former Texas Tech Red Raider, Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
What a start here to the ball game. You get the good kick return, followed by a quick first down through the air. If this defense isn't careful, they might be looking at a deficit before they know what hit them.
Now a first carry here for their running back. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage. Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, zero, nada there for the offense draws.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
Now Mahomes. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early, but it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. To throw, it's Mahomes. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy. But they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
Mahomes going to throw. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Here's Mahomes to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Eagles. Cooper Kupp, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive there took 6 plays.
And it ends with Cooper Kupp on the receiving end of the touchdown pass.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
I couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Campaign as the quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyreek Hill, 62 yards.
And the Bears are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. They said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Zerline good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's second down at a yard.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds.
They'll run. Here's the rookie out of Clemson.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Now they go screen. It's complete. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Stays on his feet, and he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Seven, our score after 1. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. 3rd and 12, as they've got it as we resume action. Throwing now is Mahomes. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bears offense and Tyreek Hill set to take over once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Smith catches left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Back to throw now on first down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
That's going to be caught downfield by Hill.
And he'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 30 yards.
Well, it looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps. It delivers a big play here for this offense.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw again. Complete. Smith has it. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Devontae Smith.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Bears have taken the lead.
And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Zerline now for the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
From the 33, here's second down and 5.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now here's Mahomes. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 13-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. This will be caught at about the 6. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5.
Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. They'll look to throw.
Pickens is there on the crossing route.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Dallas Goedert from 4 yards out.
And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Elliott on for the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays.
And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The home team's offense and their wideout getting set to go once more. And seemingly every time they've looked his way in this first half, it has resulted in a big play, as borne out by the numbers.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Second and 11.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Man open. Here's Jones. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll look to throw now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down. So we've reached halftime here, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Bears offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because
there he goes, right side. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyreek Hill, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bears come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games. And we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Mahomes now to throw. He'll get that complete to Albert O. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Here's Brian Anger now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. The Bears offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The left side completion to Jones. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Smith will come in motion right. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's got Smith here.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. From the 43, here's 2nd and 5.
Barkley, inside handoff.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Again, it's Barkley. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he's stopped at the Eagles' 37. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
They're going to look to throw. He completes it to Jones. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he is caught. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Now they bring a receiver in motion right.
And he'll get it here on the touch pass.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. From 4 yards out.
And the Bears get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. So the touchdown there, and that play, the tap pass, so simple, Charles, on the face of it, but what makes it so difficult for defenses to stop?
I think it's the precision and the quickness in which the play occurs because the snap gets to the quarterback. He's essentially playing volleyball with it, just immediately just shoveling it forward. And when that receiver is at a full head of steam, if you don't take the edge away, he's got a chance to get to the corner and get upfield. But if you take the edge away, that's your chance to disrupt that play.
And no disruption there, that's for sure, as it winds up 6 points.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
In motion goes the tight end. Throwing now is Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
Here's 2nd and 10.
The tight end in motion right. Mahomes going to throw.
That's complete. It's Okuwebunam.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Eagles on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And again, it's Mahomes. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 1.
To throw, it's Mahomes.
He finds Pickens over the middle.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
A 4-yard pickup on the play. And an Eagle first down.
Now here's Mahomes.
Across the middle, and this pass complete to Cooper Kupp.
The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. But correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now it's Mahomes again. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. Brought down at the 20.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
This is 2nd and 8.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make the play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw.
Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Bears are going to get the football back at their own 17. And here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early. And sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Second down, here's Barkley again. And he'll take this to about the 24, a gain of 3.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important third down.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. Patrick Mahomes in the offense. Down by 11. A minute 51 on the clock. They need a touchdown with a two-point conversion and a field goal in either order as they've got it first down. Here's Mahomes. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Well, they'll come up now. This is second and long. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Mahomes will throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And now the focus is really clear. They need to get that first down and either get out of bounds or maybe use one of those timeouts.
Well, this crowd into it now. 3rd and 2. Mahomes able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Mahomes to throw it.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath.
and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Clock at 30 seconds. 2nd and 10. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. Does the big boy have the juice? And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
And they are in an absolutely golden spot. It's 1st and goal following the fumble return.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.